I'm Caz Parker for MMH, the home of rock radio, and today I'm joined by the awesome Rob Walker from Sons of Liberty and Ronnie Riddle from Preacher Stone. We got together ahead of something really exciting because you guys are going out on a co-headline tour in March across the UK. So thanks for catching up with me. How you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, good.
Hey,
Really good. Really good.
Everybody's great. Everyone's in good spirits. That's what we want. So we're going to cover a few bits and bobs today, but mostly we are going to focus on the tour because it is the old country ramble tour, isn't it? And what we want to do is get people excited because we want to get them booking tickets because it's only a month away. So
Right.
yeah, so we need to crack on, get people buying tickets, make sure they're there and it's all well supported. So I read in the press release that it said the bands will bring their brands of hooky, foot-stomping laden rock in an exciting night for all. So obviously I know it's a UK debut for Preacher Stone. So why don't you both tell everyone in your own words what they can expect from the shows and, well, you know, why they should buy tickets and why they should be excited about it. So whoever wants to go first, go first.
Go, Ronnie. I'll let you take the floor, mate.
Okay. Why you should buy a ticket? We are both bands of the same ilk. It's classic rock. We happen to be from the South, so we get the term Southern rock because of, you can hear my accent, but
yeah,
everything that we do is done with this kind of accent and this kind of swagger. But this is really honest to God, working class, fist pumping, blue collar swagger music. It's a good time had by all. And you're going to get to, if you come to see us on these 9 dates, you're going to get to see two bands that make no apologies and just bring it 100% every single night with all the love and all the excitement that you can possibly bring. It's what rock and roll is all about. So that's why you should come. That's
amazing.
the Preacher Stone angle of it.
Hey, I don't think
I completely agree, Ronnie. You know, from our point of view, you know, we're no holds barred, and we go out every single night to excite and to entertain.
Yeah,
and that's the way it should be, you know. And that's again, that's why you should buy a ticket.
yay! You gotta love what you do, and you do love what you do, and it comes across, doesn't it? So. And I don't think you could have put it better in any other way. So that's it. Interview done.
Good night. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Yeah. So like we say, it's 9 dates across the UK. So there's going to be somewhere that's close to everybody that's watching this. So there's no excuses really at all. Get in your car or get a little train or whatever you need to do. So I've got a little question for you then, Ronnie. Is this your first time it's your first time in the UK with Preacher Stone, but is it your first time coming to the UK at all?
It's my first time coming to the UK at all.
Oh,
and we, you know, we've been through Europe, we've been through Scandinavia. We played, south of the border, so to speak, here in America. But this is to us, and I speak for everybody in the band. This is huge for us. Because, you know, Marty said the other day, and Marty Hill, our founding member of lead guitar, said the other day that in an interview that he did, he said, you know, the United States gave the blues to the world and country music to the world, and the UK took it and sent it back in the form of rock and roll. And all of our influences, not all of them, but a lot of our influences are from that side of the Atlantic. I mean, you know, we all grew up with Skinner and the Allman Brothers and Blackfoot and Molly Hatchet and all these bands that, you know, were seminal bands for the kind of music that we play, but we're equal parts. I mean, I'm probably low key the biggest Thin Lizzy fan that ever lived. Okay. Phil Lynott, and Bad Company and Free and all this stuff. So we get to stand on the same ground that these people stood on. You know, I'm fired up. I don't know if it shows or not. I'm trying to keep it in. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Because we're as big of fans as we are players. So, you know, we're just jacked up to be there.
You are. You're popping with excitement. I love it. It's really coming across.
And to be fair, when I spoke with Marty the other night on another interview that we did, but it's really strange when you click with somebody and you click with a certain band. And same with you, Ronnie. You know, I clicked with you as soon as we spoke on that first sort of Zoom interview that we did, and I cannot wait for you guys to come over. It's like I'm buzzing with excitement, and it's going to be something really, really special.
I feel it as well, and like I said, we're fired up. I mean, I don't know what the English or British equivalent to fired up is, but we're excited. What should I say? What's a term for excitement?
Buzzing,
yeah,
buzzing,
wasn't it? Yeah. I was going to say,
okay.
we do say fired up though as well, but buzzing
Okay.
is probably
All right, good.
Oh, so all right then. While you're over here, so Rob, you can help me with this as well. While you're over here, is there anything you think you should be trying out? So, because I think like food wise, when you go to a country you've never been to before, and I've got some recommendations for you. Things like curry, like Indian food in Britain is really good, epically good.
Okay. Love Indian
beer,
food.
we have great beer. We have our tea.
You guys are going to get introduced to a wonderful place in Edinburgh, where it's the only place you can go and get a deep fried Mars bar.
Oh, do you think we should be giving them those? I'm not sure if that's
no, but the kebab that comes after it, that would
all
work.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'll chase the haggis down with a deep fried Mars bar. Okay.
Well, you've got time to try everything, so maybe those are a couple of the grim things.
But you recommend the Indian and Thai?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Indian, definitely.
Indian we do brilliantly, don't we? So you'll have to take them for an Indian meal. Definitely. Chocolate as well. You've got to have some British chocolate.
Okay.
There's various, but Cadbury's is a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, Cadbury's is a good start, as long as you go with the old dark chocolate one.
Oh no, I just like a milk chocolate one.
Oh no.
Well, you know what? Let's let them try. Let's let them try everything.
No, it's their choice, isn't it?
Yeah,
I suppose.
exactly. And then you can exactly. And then you can tell us what you like best. But we definitely do chocolate way better than in the States. You'll be so surprised.
Definitely. I've tried Hershey Kisses and they're awful.
Yeah. There is a thing about Hershey that there is an ingredient in it that was used as something like a preserve for the milk. This is a historical thing, and it actually contains something that's the same as what's in vomit in sick. So that's why Hershey chocolate's got that. You know how it smells of sick?
Chocolate Kisses taste like shit.
Tastes like sick because they've got. It's all right.
I guess I'm just used to vomit, but I'm ready to have my horizons expanded on chocolate.
We're gonna get you some great chocolate. I'm excited
for
you.
I'm not ganging up on Ronnie now, like an English ganging up on, and no.
No, I'm excited for you because I think, it's not just about seeing the places and all of that. That's a really big part of it, but enjoying the food as well. It's the best thing to do when you go to a new country.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And of course, you've got to have a good old British roast, doesn't he? Go for a carve.
When we hit Trillions, there's a place in Newcastle when we hit Trillions that has possibly got the best chicken kebabs in the world, and they are amazing.
All you want to do is eat kebab.
We sort them.
Well, we're just following your lead over there.
Yeah.
And any suggestions, just write them down and send them to us. But we're, like I said, we're just thrilled to death to get to go there. It's a bucket list for us because the Beatles, which was a little bit ahead of my time, but the Beatles came from there. The Stones came from there. Led Zeppelin. To be honest with you, even AC/DC, was an Australian band, sort of came to us through way of the UK. And Leonard Skinner actually went over there and got more famous over there before they came back to the States. So it makes sense for us to go to the UK, and it's just something that we've all dreamed of. So we're thrilled to death and just ready. And I can't wait to meet the people. I can't wait to meet the people over there and play in front of those audiences, because we have some fans from the UK that we hear from on a regular basis and that we've seen that they've come to the States, but to go to their home and play is just huge for us.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure you will have people coming up to you. Wow, they'll be smothered, won't they, Rob?
Absolutely.
Everyone loves a chat with the band afterwards and a selfie. And a sign
I think
thing.
that's
The
like,
thing
you know,
about
I
us
think
is
that's
that
what
we
we
are who
pride
we
ourselves
are.
on, as well as these guys. I think that's what we pride ourselves on most, is the fact that we make ourselves accessible,
Yeah.
and they're not fans, they're friends.
Yeah.
You know, we make all these fabulous friends, and we encounter all these beautiful people all over all over the UK and abroad as well. You know, obviously we went to Europe last year. We obviously went off to France and did our bit with Reims Fest, and you know that's going to be another thing for this year. But they're not fans, they're friends, and that's what makes it magical.
Yeah, it is. It's really cute, definitely. Something we've become spoilt with, I think, is having bands that are accessible these days. But it's good. It's all good, isn't it? We love it. All right, then. So, let me think. Which direction shall I go in now? I'm going to stick with talking about live music, actually, because you've both obviously been around a while. And I've been reading up about Preacher Stone and who you've toured with, obviously Lynyrd Skynyrd, ZZ Top, Deep Purple. So you've both done loads and loads of stuff. Is there a gig or a favourite standout moment of all time for you? Something that you go, that was the one, that meant loads. Both question for both of you.
Okay, I mean, for me was probably last year when we went over to France. It was the first time that I'd had the opportunity to actually gig overseas, and do the whole European thing, and to rock out next to Justin Hawkins on stage was just insane. It was an insane moment. You know, I grew up listening to all of his stuff, and the worst thing was I was going, I really don't want to like you lot. But actually I really do, but I actually do, because you're right, and they absolutely killed it. And to have the privilege of standing there on stage left with them, and to see them do what they did, and him to bounce around like a mad box of frogs that he does, was incredible. I mean, to have then the privilege of playing on the same stage on that weekend with the Choir Boys Grand Slam, it was just insane, you know. And I'm sort of sat there from a perspective of, I'm now playing with kind of my heroes from where I grew up, and you know, Grand Slam. Look at them. That's Lawrence Archer. That's the guy that played with Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy.
Yeah. And
that to me is just such a privilege. It's insane.
Yeah. Never get boring, will it?
No, it don't. It never gets boring. That's the thing.
We've had a lot of moments like that, and we've been really blessed to have those moments. I mean, we played with 38 Special in our hometown at an amphitheater in front of 17,000 people. That was surreal. That was a good moment. Rocklahoma was a good moment to just go, holy crap, we're at Rocklahoma. just a moment. But I think one that stuck me personally was we did one of the Lynyrd Skynyrd Simple Man cruises. And on a particular year, the band asked all the other bands if they would cover Skynyrd songs.
Yeah.
And they actually requested that we do Four Walls of Rayford and I Ain't the One. And I was sitting in front of about, I don't know, it's like 5,000 people and playing Four Walls of Rayford, Marty Hill and I on stools in front of this crowd. And I actually flubbed the lyrics of the third verse because it really hit me what I was doing at the time. I'm like, we're playing Skynyrd and Skynyrd is watching.
That's just, that's mind blowing, isn't it? That's absolutely.
It was a little on the mind blowing side, but like Rob alluded to, meeting some of the people that you've always admired, and then just being acquaintances or friends or making friendships is crazy, and it's really a big thing, and those are those moments.
It is, and it really sort of humbles you in a way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely humbling.
You know, I mean, fucking, excuse my French again,
Right.
but I could go back
I'm doing really
through
well at that today.
the bits and bobs from last year. You know, I met Dougie White from Rainbow, and that blew my mind. It was like, but you're from Rainbow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then I had John Karabi hanging off my beard in a hotel in a hotel bar in Troon when we played up at Winterstorm. And it's absolutely mind-blowing to think that you know, I've grown up listening to these people, and Motley Crue was a big thing for me. I really like Motley Crue.
Yeah, and the album with him on was great, wasn't it? It's very, very underrated, actually, and it's a really good album.
I love his acoustic stuff, and the stuff he's doing at the moment. You know, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, he's amazing. He's great, and obviously Dead.
But that's, you know, that was one of my. That was one of my heroes when I was growing up. It was like, oh, it's John Karabi, and then all of a sudden he's hanging off my beard in a hotel bar in Scotland. Yeah, really weird.
So okay, then that leads me on to, so you may have covered this just now with the answers to those questions, but in terms of having a proper fanboy moment, has there ever been a moment like that really stands out where you've gone, oh, I can't even talk to them, because it's all well and good meeting people, but like people in the music industry, you know, they become your peers, and so many people are so down to earth when you meet them. But I think there's still possibilities where you have a fanboy moment where you just go a bit like, I actually can't speak to you. Have you had one of those?
Ray Charles.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And my dad, more information than you want, but my dad took pictures for Cashbox and CBS Records when I was a kid. So I got to meet a lot of rock stars.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And some of them were really nice, you know, and Ted Nugent actually babysat me for an afternoon, which was, you know, another story, and I got pictures of that. But the funny one was I was in Nashville when I first moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and we took some time off to go to lunch to this meat and three restaurant. And, you know, I look like a complete dirt bag. I've been crawling under somebody's console wiring and all that, because, you know, welcome to Nashville, you got to make a living. But we were at Sylvan Park Restaurant, and I was holding the door for this line of really nice people and really nicely dressed people proceeding out. They looked like they were dressed for church. And it's like Wednesday afternoon. Wow. And I heard somebody say, "Thank you, son." And I thought, that voice sounds familiar. Holy God, it's Ray Charles. And I don't know that I got a sound out. He patted me, you know, on the shoulder and said, it was this shoulder, "Thank you, son." And I was like, that's Ray Charles. I just met Ray Charles, you know, and I had no words.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's exactly the kind of thing that I like hearing about, because I think, like I say, there's always somebody, no matter how many people you meet, no matter how much becomes part of your life, there's always someone that you're like, can't speak, can't do it. Love it. I love that story. That's brilliant.
I met Elton John, and he actually talked to me, and he was very polite. And I held it together.
Yeah.
I totally held it together, because he was playing this amphitheater and we were playing one of the side stages. So I can technically say I opened for Elton John. Yeah. You know, that's the music business for you. Yep. But when he walked away, one of my friends looked at me and went, "You just talked to Elton John." I said, "Yeah, now I think I need a moment, you know," but I held it together. I held it together. I don't think I peed myself. I don't think I embarrassed myself. I didn't say anything stupid. But with Ray Charles, it was so I mean, I knew Elton John was going to be there that day, but with Ray Charles, it was like Ray Charles just touched me.
Yeah.
I need him. That's years ago, and I'm still having issues talking about it. But
I mean, I had a very, very similar experience down in the New Forest at the National Motorcycle Museum.
Right.
Which has got a huge, huge stage. And, you know, long story short, I got invited down there and very privileged to go with the backstage thing and go and watch the Who play.
Oh, God.
It was when Ringo Starr's son was playing drums for him.
Amazing.
Can't remember his name. But we went backstage, and Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend walked past me, and they shook my hand. I was like, "Oh my God, that's Roger Daltrey. That's bloody Roger Daltrey."
Holy shit!
And that it absolutely smacked me back in the face and went, "Shut up, knobhead. Sit down. Just go and watch the show."
Yeah.
And that's all I could do. It was just it was completely, absolutely overwhelming. And
it's humbling.
Yeah.
it absolutely
It's humbling because you think you're cool. Sometimes in
until
life
you
you
get
think
to
you're cool,
that level of coolness.
and then you realize you're not Ray Charles cool.
No.
You're not the Who cool.
No.
You're not Roger Daltrey
Exactly.
cool. Not cool at all. You're just a knobhead.
I love it. And the weird thing is, some of the moments that, like, some of these moments that are probably the most significant, they're not the ones that you've got on film or on a camera, or, you know.
No, they're not. That's the worst part.
You can't do it. You haven't in that moment got the opportunity to go, and while you're just shaking my hand, or while you're just chatting to
I
me,
think
Elton John,
that's
can we get a selfie?
That's the most important thing, is that the most memorable moments that you will ever get, unless you're a knobhead and you've got your phone in your hand, you're never going to catch them. You will never catch them.
But they're always in your head.
Because they're moments that just pass, and you will remember them till the day that you die.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about it is that when I've met some of these people, like you said, like, you know, you alluded to, some of the people are nice and some people are not. But I'm always so impressed with people who, you know, exactly who they are.
Yeah.
They need no introduction. But I'm always so touched and so impressed when they actually introduce themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like, "Hi, I'm Steven Tyler." It's like, I know who you are.
Yeah, isn't that the sweetest thing, though?
Thank you for being cool enough to introduce yourself properly.
Same hotel room in Scotland. Geezer comes over to me, and I was a little bit jaded at the time, but
that's not like you.
Hi, well, you know me. Hi, I'm Marco Mendoza.
Oh yeah, he's my friend.
Marco. I know Marco as well.
Yeah, I recognise you now.
Yeah. I know, it's
guy.
weird. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I sometimes do that, like, because
I told Rob like I said, I'm an enormous Thin Lizzy fan, and I went to see Black Star Riders near my hometown, and there's Scott Gorham, and Scott Gorham reaches down and gives me a pick that he played the solo to Southbound on, so I still have that pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And but after the show, I had to meet him, and he wasn't getting on the bus, and I knew Damon and I knew Marco.
Yeah.
And I said, "Where's Scott?" And they said, "He's getting in that SUV." So I make the mad dash, make a fool of myself. And you know, please, Scott, please listen to me. I've been, you know, I'm not crazy. I'm not going to hurt you. I've waited 35 years to say that, you know. And we had a good conversation, and I had my picture made with him, and I sent the picture to a friend of mine who's in another band, and he responded exactly immediately, "Where the hell are you?" And I said, "I was with Scott Gorham." And, you know, then he sent me the emoji of the middle finger, which let me know that I'd really done something worthwhile. But it's those moments. It's back to that thing we said earlier, where I'm a fan of rock and roll. I love rock and roll. I owe rock and roll a debt that I can never repay. It got me through my youth. It got me through most of my adulthood.
Hell yeah.
To think that we, Sons of Liberty or Preacher Stone, can provide somebody with that kind of moment or that kind of emotion, I can't fathom that. Okay. But I'm just so blessed and so thankful to be still doing it, and to be going somewhere new, over to the United Kingdom, to meet, you know, all these wonderful people, and get to be on your show and get to do all this. I'm going to enjoy every second of it. It's a lot. It's life. We should all live our lives like that. I'm giving it everything I've got every night.
It's kind of crazy the way you said that. You know, you chase down said person, and that was kind of how I ended up with the Sons.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
We played. Yeah, it was Rockin' the Bowl Festival.
Yeah.
Back in the day, probably 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I chased down Fred in the backstage bit, and I was like, "Oh, dude, just come and speak to me for a second because you guys were awesome." Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And that's where it started from.
Wow.
And that's a really strange way of looking at it. I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
But it's that helter skelter.
Yeah.
Sort of
like a
effect.
domino. Yeah. One thing happens.
It's like, I'm gonna make this attempt because if I don't, I might regret it. So you go do whatever it is that you feel like you need to do. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So if you had a time machine and you could go back in the past and relive something, maybe tweak something, make a little change, or zoom off into the future and have a little snoop around, which would you do?
If I could go back in the past
Back
or
in
go
the
into
past. So
the
you've
future?
suddenly got a time machine, but you can only go one way. You can't go both ways. So you can either go back in the past, snoop, I don't know, relive something amazing, or change something, or go in the future and have a little snoop around. Which one would you do?
Okay, for me, I'd go back and I'd go to the time when Stevie Ray Vaughan was still alive.
Yeah.
That would be me.
And just go and watch
Just
a gig.
him play live with Double Trouble, and that would be me.
Yeah.
I'd live the rest of my life happy.
Perfect. I love it. Great answer. Ronnie. You don't have to have a specific. You can just say.
I don't want to know what's going to happen. That takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah. I mean, you could get the lottery numbers or something. There is that.
Well, yeah, there is that.
I would probably go back and buy Apple stock.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I've always said that if I could ever, and this may be heavy, but if I could ever go back to any moment in the historical past and be a part of it, I'd probably want a front row seat at the Sermon on the Mount.
Okay.
You take notes and just see what he really said and what he really meant, because but that, and I wanted to see Thin Lizzy live with Robertson, Gorham, Downey, and Phillip. That would, and I'd love to have seen the original Lynyrd Skynyrd with Ronnie Van Zant.
Perfect.
So, there you go. I always give people more than they ask for, so I apologize for that.
All right, perfect answer. It's all music related as well. I mean, it could have been anything, but I love it. It's wicked. All right, then.
The only thing that makes the world go round is music.
It really is. It really is. Can you imagine? Well, you can't, can you? Like,
you can't imagine life without music.
No, or without being.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work
without being as passionate about it as we all are as well. I don't know if I feel that people who are not into something like rock music, and just in its broadest sense, I just feel like there's so much more passion in there. And I don't know whether that's just my perception, but I work in radio, in normal mainstream radio in the day, and when I meet people, it's not the same community and connection as we have on our scene. I don't think.
For me, the last 3 years working with Yesterday's Gone, and then obviously working with the Sons, there's such a community that's there, and the love that is given from those guys and the people that come out to the shows, it's unmeasurable.
Yeah. Well, when you think about how many shows we go to, like, I don't know people who are not into this kind of music that would be like I do. Every single week, I'm probably at a show. Every single week. There would be more than 52 shows that I would go to in a year. So there's probably more than one a week. Sometimes they're all bunched up together. And so sometimes I do get a weekend off or something. But when you speak to people who are not into sort of music that we are, they'll be like, oh yeah, I've booked to go and see a band in September. And I'm like, oh, I've got one tomorrow, Saturday, like next weekend. Yeah. People will be like, what's your next gig coming up? I don't know, because I've got that many. I have to look in my diary and do one thing. I have to concentrate on one thing at a time. And then there's so much going on. There's clashes. I've been invited to 3 different shows next Saturday. And I'm like, I got to pick one.
Which one do I pick?
So exactly. I know which one I'm picking now. I think it's all right. It's all sorted itself out.
That shows that your love for music and where you are as a reporter a journalist, and that shows your love for music.
I just wish I had the patience to play an instrument, like actually learn and do what you do. But I always say, what I do
Well,
I was going to say from a DJ point of view,
I was going to
what
say,
I
I'm
do is
just a
try and give
person that
back.
stands at the front and makes noise.
Yeah, there is that. Well, what I try and do is give something back. So I haven't got the discipline to learn it myself, but what I try and do is play the music, support the bands. So, you know, go and see bands, support them, buy the t-shirt, always buy the t-shirt. I've got more t-shirts than you can imagine. It's not my interview. Why am I talking? But this is what I'm saying. I think, you know, what I try and do is give something back, which is, you know, the music makes me happy. If I can play it and make other people happy and, you know, make the bands a bit more money, get them discovered, that's my way of giving back. So I may not be talented, but I'm trying.
No, you are. I disagree. You are talented because you're taking the media perspective of being a reporter, of being a journalist, if you will, and people are going to tune into your show because they're fans of you. And they're going to meet Rob and I for the first time because they've never.
Absolutely.
And then maybe something that we said is something that they go, okay, well, Sons of Liberty, I'm going to check that out. Preacher Stone, I'm going to check that out. And then we see them in Newcastle or Edinburgh somewhere. So you've done your part, and we really appreciate it because, you know, being independent artists, people like yourself make this go. It's the fans and it's the people who talk about it that make it go. Because if I think of all the, you know, I found out about Van Halen flipping through pages of Cream magazine when I was, you know, 14 years old. And so I'm going to check this out. And that's how people find it. Without people like yourselves, a lot of people don't make the discovery. So you don't ever underestimate your value to us. Thank you so much.
That's all right.
I think without you, Caz, and, you know, obviously not just you, but without this kind of exposure, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing now. And that's the massive thing for us. And, you know, I'll go back to what I said earlier. We don't have fans, we have friends. And they're friends. And that, you know, without those guys, we can't do what we do. We just can't.
Well, I've always said, and we've said it in the band as well, without the fans and without the press, there wouldn't be us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if nobody knows about you, you're not going to gain a foothold, and you're not going to get to do what it is that you love to do. So,
and you don't want to play to an empty room, do you? That'd be rubbish.
I've done it.
Yeah, of course you have.
I will probably do it again, but would rather not.
Yeah, exactly. Prefer not to. All right, then. Final question, then. So, because we've got to wrap up. But what would be? Let me think. I've got possibly two final questions. But is there a dream achievement? If there's something that you haven't achieved yet, that would be like your dream achievement, you can be as big, bold and brash as you like, because it's just an interview question, so say whatever you like. But is there something that you think, for you or for the band, dream achievement?
Rob, you go first.
Okay. So I suppose for us and for me, would be that whole just having that. Let's put it this way. When Queen played Live Aid and he had that crowd in front of him, that would be my life goal, to have that crowd and to hold that crowd and to be able to entertain that crowd. And that's all I ever want, you know. I get on stage every single time, and it doesn't matter which way, shape or form it is. I pick up that microphone and I do what I do best. And all I want is that crowd that's there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a 20,000.
Yeah, a mega gig. That's the question. The question is dream achievement. Yeah. So a mega gig in Wembley or something.
That'd be it for me.
Perfect. Why not? How about you, Ronnie?
I would like, I don't know if it comes down to a moment, but a thing, but I would like to make the United Kingdom run a yearly thing in front of, you know, packed venues, whether it be, you know, very large venues or whether it be medium size or, you know, small venues, just just to get out and do what we love in front of people that enjoy it. That's the thing. And so just to be able to continue to do this, and the Wembley moment would be awesome. But just to be able to sustain it and have people still love what we do and have it grow.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Also, may I add on the end?
Okay, go on then.
USA,
thought of another one.
The USA tour.
Yes.
Would be
well, that's
absolutely
it.
amazing.
You got to come over. You can be our guest, and we can show you what riding. We can show you what riding in a van really feels like.
You can get some more Hershey kisses.
Yes.
No.
Right. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed this. It's been absolutely awesome. So I'm going to round it off properly. So thank you for listening out there, everybody, and for watching. I'm Caz Parker for MMH, the home of rock radio, with Rob from Sons of Liberty and Ronnie from Preacher Stone. It's been fab. I love it. I can't wait for the tour. I think it'd be brilliant. So my best advice to everybody out there who's been watching is go and buy a ticket. Don't be like waiting. Don't be sitting at home, seeing everybody on social media thinking, oh, everyone seems to be going out having a good time, but I'm stuck at home watching the telly, when you could be out watching an awesome show. So don't dilly-dally. Go and get your tickets now. The interview's nearly over. You got time. Straight on the socials. The links are all there, aren't they? Both bands have put all the links on. So we're all good. And that's it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Very, very well.
Cheers, Caz.